saved his family. And it sounds nice when you read it into all those small portions. When you can fraction down a story to 9 little pieces, it sounds nice. But you know, there was a lot of things that took place for him to get to the end of that. There was a lot of troubles and trials and battles that he had to face. And you know, it came to my attention, you know, that he spent, I think, 2 years in prison after the cupbearer got his release. 2 years. Now, think about that. When we think about how impatient we are, how we're waiting on God for our answer. 2 years. 2 years in a dark prison, even though he had favor and he was an overseer for the guard, even though he was that type of guy, he was being the best prisoner that he could be, he was still in a dungeon. He was still in a prison. He was still in a place that was not comfortable, was not nice. It wasn't a hotel that he was sitting in. It wasn't even a prison like we have today. He was in a prison. And so for 2 years, he sit and he waited. That's why I said that many times we got to realize that our relationship with God, it's a choice. We give ourselves over in choice. He comes in by that choice. We are saved and we're sanctified in Him. But every single day we've still got to continue to make the choice to love Him, serve Him, be guided by Him, and to sit in His will. We've got to continue to make that choice. Because the world will give you any and every choice other than what He wants for you. And it will put you in a dark prison if you let it. It will capture your mind. It'll capture your heart. It'll capture your thoughts. It'll place you into a place to where you don't know if you're coming or you're going after you've had relationship with the one who set you free. If you let it. Take all your thoughts captive. During his life, Joseph had many critical needs. Critical needs. Once he needed to be released from the dark pit. Later he needed to be released from a dark prison. And still later he needed to be remembered and rescued. And as we read in Genesis 41, it took 2 full years for that chief cupbearer to remember him and to tell Pharaoh about him. 2 years to say, wait on the Lord. So why did God delay so long before meeting such critical needs? How many of us trapped in a pit, knowing that your brothers who you love, no matter what relationship, you got family, you got brothers and sisters, you love them. You battle, you fight, but you love them. He was dropped into a pit by his brothers who were contemplating putting him to death and killing him, but decided to sell him into slavery. Slavery. How critical of a need is that? How would that challenge your relationship with God today? Knowing that you are, or believe that you are, this chosen, favored son of God or child of God, and yet you're in a pit going into slavery. How much more of a battle would it be knowing that you've done all that you could do to be the best slave that you could be, that you're on the top of the world as far as that goes. You are the one running the household. They can't do it without you. But now you're going to prison for something that you didn't do. And you're going to sit there and you're going to wait. How hard is that to have a relationship with God? Choice. Wait. But it was designed in such a way that there was things that he went through that made him a better man when he got into position to receive what God wanted him to have. He learned from his father how to do the things that his brothers didn't know how to do. And that served him when he came into slavery to be that best slave that he could be, to get that household in order and to make things work and function like it should. And what he learned there, even though he was tossed into a prison, he could have just been an old, sad, hand-me-down prisoner sitting in the corner waiting for his opportunity to die in the dark. He could have been that way, but no, he took the stuff that he learned from his father, and he took the stuff that he learned from being a slave, and he took that and become the best prisoner that he could be. And he helped run things and gain favor. And there was no doubt that there was some benefits that helped get him through those opportunities when it would have been easy to get down. And then that benefited him when he stood before Pharaoh and God was the one that really interpreted the dream. He just gave it to him. He was just the vessel in which God used. And so he gave him the interpretation of the dream. But at the same time, it was still him who had to sit in that position of authority underneath Pharaoh and guide and lead those people through the famine that was getting ready to come. It still had to be him. It was still him that was in position to save his family. It was still him that had to make the choice to forgive his brothers of what they had done to him and to be able to receive his family into his arms once more. It was still him. He had to make the choice. There was battles that had to be fought. There was waiting that had to be done in order for him to grow and become the man that he was, in order to receive what it was that God intended for him in the first place. So just like Daniel, I heard you the first time. I know who you are. You are the leader of my people. You are the chosen vessel. You are the favored children of God. You are. But at the same time, expect challenges to come. Expect battles to be faced. Expect. Because without those things, without the mountains to be climbed, without moving the rocks out of your way, without being in position, you'll never receive. Because you'll never be ready to take hold. You won't grow. The things that have come into our family's life placed us into the position that we are now. Mom got sick. There was battles that was fought before she was ever saved, and there was greater battles to be fought after she got saved. And in those battles, she grew to the person that she is, and what she was doing in the midst of those battles had a reflection upon Gary and his relationship with God, and had a reflection upon me, and became into my relationship with God. And those led us to the ministry in which we had, and that ministry led into another ministry, and then that ministry led us to the place where we are now. If we take away the trials and the battles that we face, then would we even be saved at this very moment? Would the opportunity have come for me to have my mind set upon the Lord as it was that night when I gave my heart to Him? And so just to say these what if scenarios, what if I didn't do this, or what if I didn't do that? There's so many things that you could have done different. Well, just accept the fact that life is life and that God is God. And as long as we trust in Him, He's going to bless us. And so when we look at things, we need to have the mindset that we're not waiting on our neighbor. We're not waiting on our government. We're not waiting on our church or our congregation. We're waiting on God. And when we're waiting on God, we know that He is who He is. We know that He does what He does. Just like it said, that He is the will in the will. We need to just let Him do what it is that He's going to do. Let Him lift us up, anoint us, touch us, lead us, guide us, and grow us to where we need to be, so that we're ready to receive whatever it is, because there is nothing bad, negative, or evil coming from God. So either way, when you come out on the other side, you're going to be blessed in favor from the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and the Creator and Maker of the universe. He's the one that you're waiting on. So you're waiting on Him, not on you, not on tomorrow, not on your home or your family or anything else. You're waiting on God. And my word teaches me, and my God shows me that He does not fail. And that no matter what I think, He's always on time. Always on time. So in a similar way as He did with Joseph, God is always in the process of redirecting our lives. And sometimes it seems as He delays on meeting those needs. And we sit back and we ask ourselves, why? When it's just Him. It's just Him. I don't know what God knows. I can't stand up here and tell you that I know the mindset of God, because I don't. I know His character. I know His love. I know how patient He is, because He sees me and He's patient with me. But at the same time, I can't tell you all the things that God knows. The Word says that there's eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things of God. His comprehension is above mine. And I know that He sees the beginning, the middle, and the end. So it's so much easier to redirect and to guide and to lead, looking at it from the whole picture, because He knows where you start, He knows where you're at, and He knows where you're going to finish. So it's so much easier for Him to be able to do those things because He's God. And so it's hard for us to sit back sometimes and say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. But we need to change and make the choice that our mindset is not the mindset of man, to where we're thinking about tomorrow or thinking about the next day, but we need to be thinking about God. I'm waiting on Him, not me, not her, not Gary, not Lona, not any of us. I'm waiting on Him. I'm waiting on Him. So that way His greater plan for us and for the others around us can be accomplished. I want to be a part of that. Not just going through the motions of it. You can go into your job today and go through the motions of it and go home and your mind can be just numb. It's just another day. Or you can go into work with joy in your heart, a smile on your face, a little extra kick in your step, ready to work. And then when you go home, you'll feel good. It could have been a rough day. It could have been a tough day, but you'll feel good because you put in your part. And so that's what God wants from us. Put in your part and wait and see what He's going to do. His sister Lana will come up. I know I was a little long-winded this morning, but I want to be excited. I don't want to be a show. There's plenty of people that do it for a show. I don't want to be a show. I want to be excited about God. I want to be truly excited about who it is that saved me and who it is that's opened up the doors in my life that I have today and will open up doors for tomorrow. I want to be excited about Him. Games are good. I love football. But at the same time, He's so much better. I don't have to worry about what the score says at the end of the day. I know God. His score is always in the winning bracket.